Welcome to this week's edition of The Passion of the Digital Artist. And here he is, that passionate digital artist himself, Jeff.
Holy crap, that was awesome. Hey, Xavier.
How's it going, Jeff?
It's going great. Welcome everybody to another edition of What Do Artists Do? And we here have Xavier, the narrator, my number one man, and myself, Jeff Mueller. And what we do on this blog weekly is we cover the world of art today and my place in it.
And I'm going to expound on that a little bit, folks. I know it's hard to get a word in edgewise with Jeff sometimes.
Yeah,
but usually because Jeff knows what he's talking about and I don't. But on this one, I'm going to talk about my observations of Jeff's almost year-long project, 52 Shades of Blue. We're on 304. And what Jeff has done with this project is basically he's making us aware of all the art that is around us and we take for granted every day. Something as subtle as the water tower. Now think about that. Subtle and water tower. How is a water tower subtle? The thing's pretty gosh darn big. We see it every day. But what Jeff has done is he's illustrated to us the brilliance of the architect or designer and or engineers in that water tower and in the color rendering of the paint that they, how they colored it, and how it is almost reactive to its environment. You've seen through his many beautiful, some of them breathtakingly beautiful photos, there ain't a bad one in the bunch, how the water tower changes appearance, how much it stands out, how much it doesn't stand out, the shade that it looks, the size that it looks, the perspective. And that water tower did not change. What changed around it was its environment. The light, the season, the weather. And he has illustrated for me, I gotta be honest with you, when he said he was gonna start doing pictures of the water tower, I knew whatever Jeff did would be good, but I wasn't turning cartwheels about it. I figured he'd end up with some very nice stuff. There isn't anything he does that is less than extremely good. But this project is just amazing. And it's just startling when you look at the body of work that he's put together and the story that it tells. And it tells some other thing and that I need to bring out is Jeff's eye to recognize what a project this would be. The vision that he had. He saw that water tower, he observed it and said, man, this is worth studying. And he's put together an awesome body of work. Whether you are, a longtime art fan or just new to art, you're going to be amazed. And now that we're coming up on 1 year, Jeff has some news that he wants to announce. He's dropped some hints about this in the past, but he's going to elaborate on it more. So take it away, Jeff.
Yeah, we're actually, just to expound on what you say, I was talking to my mother-in-law today about it, and she said that, and most people do, when they first start looking at the water tower and the project itself, they it's almost, why would you pick this? It's like the water towers are historically considered an eyesore. Now we know that this North Canton water, because of how they painted it, like you said, that's something that I noticed, that it for whatever reason, where it's located on top of that hill in the trees, and it's all at different angles that you can photograph it. I had just observed that it just seemed to do something special, but I had no idea from when I started 304 days ago that it was going to produce this amount of imagery. I didn't understand all the angles I could shoot it at, for one. I didn't know them all. I found them throughout the 304 days. I mean, even on our walk, we go walking sometimes and you can see it. It's visible from a lot of different places that are surprising, that you wouldn't think it would be visible, and then some places you would think it would be visible, but it's not. But overall, what me and my mother-in-law came up with is, she always watched sunsets and enjoyed sunsets, and I've always enjoyed sunsets and sunrises, and a majority of the pictures are sunrises. But what I've noticed is that the light tower is your point of reference, that when you're looking at sunsets or sunrises and it's beautiful, you don't always have a consistent point of reference. So that sunset is in itself unique to your memory, and it's beautiful, but it goes back in with a million other ones. But because you have a point of reference on the water tower, that you can compare it from the night before, the day before, or 2 months before, that point of reference of the water tower and how it interacts and how that sunset changes the water tower is the uniqueness of the project, and that's why the light study. You can light study almost anything. Monet did the haystacks. It's a light study. He did water lilies. He basically painted over in different seasons of the same angle and came up with the different paintings. But technology today allows you, because there was a person who photographed a tree every single day, and he's got a book, and he photographed it all different ways for a year. But this is a little bit different, because it's not the tree is a representation of nature in itself, and it blends in with nature. I wanted to take a shape that was foreign to nature, but then show through its geometrical shape how nature absorbs it into itself. And that's pretty much what this project has done. And for me, it's been amazing, because I question a lot of things and also understand a lot of things that I've never understood before. A subject that when I've painted a subject before, a lot of times I'll grab that subject and then paint it. But now I think I'm not going to just grab it that time. I'm going to give it multiple times so that maybe this will work. You know what I'm saying? Multiple chances and multiple photographs of the same thing over and over until I feel that it's shown in its best light. So that's what I learned for that. But that takes us to what you were led, the Kickstarter program.
The Kickstarter program. Talk to us about that.
Well, the main thing of what Kickstarter does is it's designed to support people with great ideas and crowdfund their projects. So you set a goal of what you want to get funded, and then you also can set step goals. Like, for instance, if I wanted to fund $5,000 and then I wanted to fund $10,000 and $20,000, you can do that. A lot of projects, it seems like a lot of money, but a lot of people raise between $5,000 and $20,000 for their projects if they do the project right. And so for this particular project, my ultimate goal is to be able to have the full 52 shades of blue. I'm going to be producing 52 images, either photographs or paintings, and there'll be 52 original images, and then there'll be prints.
Each one representing one of the many shots you took during a given week.
Right.
Yeah.
I've taken over 10,000 shots so far.
Right, but you're going to pick the best representatives.
Well, then I'm going to narrow it down to 500. I'm going to have the group on Facebook. They're going to be picking out some shots. Some of my close friends I'm going to allow, wink wink, to pick out a shot. And then also the Kickstarter. The coup de grace of the Kickstarter is going to be, there's going to be a painting. One of the paintings is going to be specifically for Kickstarter, available to purchase. But what I'd like to do is have a show and have everything matted and framed and have all 52 images in the show. And they don't actually have to be the originals if that sells and people buy them and whatnot. But in the show, I want at least a limited edition print or the original of the paintings or the photographs, all to be represented in one big giant show. So there's a couple things that I need to fund. One, it's expensive to produce 52 medium format photos or prints or paintings. 52 of them, the cost is substantial, because as a digital, turning it to digital, getting it onto canvas, and then painting it, then also matting it in the case of the prints, and framing them, or framing the actual canvases that you're painting on. That's an expense that's gonna have to occur. Then I also want to do a show, hopefully in one of the major markets, not just here in Ohio. I would like to either go get it into Chicago, New York, somewhere, and have that show and be present for it. So there's travel expenses and shipping expenses. So these are the kind of things that the crowdfunding is going to help me out with. If I can get to those goals, I'll be able to do this the right way. And also the promotion of once I start producing the artwork, to get it into the right places to be able to have a show like this. Then also there's an expense of making the books. Once I have the book, and you could do books on Shutterfly, through individual orders and be fairly reasonable. But it would be my goal and dream to be able to have enough money to get the book printed and hardcover bound. Yes, in a beautiful hardcover, and that's a lot more expensive. So those are the goals of the Kickstarter program. Now, Kickstarter, this particular whatever, I've started the account and I've started looking at the videos. Everybody give a hand for Xavier. He will be narrating. I'm so excited. It's like we're going to do our first, we do the blog, but I think Xavier deep down would like to do voiceovering, on a professional level. So this will be a really good, if anything, it'll be a great promo for him, because we're gonna use that talent. So I'm looking forward to that. So in the next 2 weeks,
let's hope that Jeff's assessment of my talent is somewhere close to what his assessment of the how well the water tower project came out.
Well, yeah, I think it is. I think that the project, everything that goes, we got all the pieces, and then it's just getting the right footage, pick the right format, because on Kickstarter you could see the successful formats of a lot of videos. And you could pick the gold. It's already basically laid down for you how to do the video. It's just then us getting the footage and writing the script to fit what the project is.
Script? We don't need no stinking script.
Well,
man.
We're gonna have the outline.
Yeah, we do need an outline so we don't sound like blithering idiots.
Well, right, because it's gonna basically be a lot of like I said, it's not gonna just be live footage. It's gonna be voiceover. I'll be using your voice to voiceover and it's gonna have timing, and I'm kind of excited about producing the video, because my little video editing skills that I've learned doing this video blog, I will be able to use them on a more professional level. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Exciting project.
That's awesome. I mean, I think anything else?
You've said it all. I think what this will end up doing is not only, obviously there's some self-promotion there, your abilities and vision of an artist, but it's going to promote the community and art as a whole, because that is something you were, again, I can't stress this enough, folks. Jeff noticed the water tower because it's an unnoticeable water tower. What struck your eye is how it blends.
Right.
And, it really, I think it kind of promotes the water tower and the community around it. And there's literally art everywhere. You just have to be able to see it.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You have to have a vision like Jeff has.
Well, there's beauty in the cracks, really.
Yeah.
There's beauty everywhere. You just have to want to see it. And there's some people who don't search for that beauty in the cracks, but I'm not that kind of a person. I love to observe. That's my favorite thing. I love to observe people, water towers.
No.
So we'll see what happens.
Very good. Have a good week, folks.
All right, thanks.